The induction ceremony will be handled by Priscilla Ribbick, the chair of our Women's Committee. And with no further ado, Priscilla.
All right, guys. It's time to induct two people into the 2010 Women's Hall of Fame. Before I announce their names, one of these women have been in the sport. It's time to induct two people into the 2010 Women's Hall of Fame. Before I announce their names, one of these women have been in the sport for over 31 years, before the USAPL even existed. The other one, so old, she set so many records that it's going to take a lot of you masters to actually beat her. With that, I'd like to bring up both Cathy Marksteiner and Harry Paul. Next one that I'd like to introduce again is Cathy Marksteiner.
All right, Cathy!
Yes!
She started off as well, let me go through a little bit of her history. She refers to herself as a military brat. She grew up in a military family, changed locations every couple years, and then she met Joe, the infamous Joe Marksteiner. Where's Joe? Joe? Did Joe disappear? Joe? He's the man who's so wonderful to build all the software programs that we have.
Joe?
Here he is.
Joe?
Joe. There's Joe. So she met Joe, and then a few years later, probably get some of this wrong, they went ahead and got married. Imagine that. And here they are today. With that, she ended up being a stay-at-home mom. She has two children, Tony and Liz. And with that, she stayed at home, but through her career, she actually went in and became a voluntary firefighter in 1999. That's correct. And then, as we all know, Liz had passed away from cancer, but one of her wonderful things that she had made her mom promise to do before she passed away was to become a paramedic. Don't give up that dream, Mom. I want you to become a paramedic. So for Liz's sake, she went and did that in 2005 and has been an EMT since. Part of Cathy's athletic career before powerlifting, she didn't fit into the normal sports, couldn't do basketball, didn't really fit into cheerleading, drill, that kind of stuff. So she tried gymnastics with a terrible, terrible story behind that, tearing up her knees several times. So it's a miracle that she's out squatting with us. But she got into powerlifting after she had hurt her knees. She started doing some of the universal machine thanks to Joe's encouragement. And then she went and helped out at a meet that Joe was at as a scorekeeper. And as she put, remember the days when you actually did poster boards and magic markers to keep score? And now we see everything set with technology. 2 months later, she went after that and went and got her very first powerlifting belt. And then 2 months later, she did the Hawaii State meet, almost setting a deadlift record at her very first meet. How many pieces of paper?
The important one.
Okay, so let me give you some of her bullet points again. Cathy was born in 1958, married to Joe, with children, Tony and Liz. Her career was a stay-at-home mom, began volunteering for firefighting in 1999 and then the EMT in 2005. She started powerlifting, though, in 1979. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 31 years ago. She had her first meet after only 2 months of training, which was the the Hawaii State meet. She did her first nationals in 1982. This is still before the USAPL even existed, and it was part of the USPF. She became a member of the ADFPA back in 1986, and with that, she's been competing for 23 years. She's a 3-time IPF world competitor, 6-time national competitor, and 4-time meet director. So her involvement is wonderful in the sport. Her lifting titles that she's held is she's placed 3rd at the IPF Master Worlds. Squat she got bronze, bench press she got gold, and deadlift she got bronze as well. the IPF Master Bench in 2009. She took second place at the 2009 Women's Nationals and first place in the Raw division at the USAPL Bench Nationals. She currently holds a Raw bench press record in the 67.5 for Masters Category 2. That's what it is. And Open, excuse me. And with that, other positions that she's held with her sport in the USAPL and ADFPA before we existed. She was a coach for 4 years for the U.S. Air Force Academy, 22 years as a referee. She has done over 50 national meets and 6 IPF world meets as a referee. And as you all know, we can't do our meets without her. She is an IPF Cat 2 referee. And for those of you ladies who are lifting today, you'll also know that she is responsible for all of our drug testing to make sure that those are selected and go through the drug testing procedure. She is an OMT drug testing chair since 2007 and has done a wonderful job on that. And she's also been the collegiate chair for 13 years, from 1988 to 2001. Her most memorable things that she's done in powerlifting: in 1982, she was there when Brother Bennett pitched his speech about drug-free powerlifting, and how many of us wish we could have been there at the same time. She was there in 1997 when the USAPL voted to participate with the IPF. In 2005, she came back as a Raw lifter at Women's Nationals after a 13-year break. In 2009, she had the honor of coaching master lifter and world champion Dave Ricks, taking home 2 world records that day. And she was also there when there was the first ADFPA military nationals, where her husband, Colonel Joe, and Captain Larry Maley went to be meet directors. And Johnny Graham was also a competitor there. And that was back in 1993. I got a couple quotes for you as well. She's a hardworking, dedicated individual that gives over 100% to the sport of powerlifting. Dave Ricks. Never in my lifetime of the sport have I met someone who has given so much of their time for so little. Johnny Graham. And from the person who nominated you, Dave Ricks, I'd like to read his nomination. What can I say about Cathy Marksteiner? But she is an exceptional person who lives for the sport of powerlifting. She is very instrumental with youth and adults alike, volunteering her time and experience to assist those in need, whether it be training or officiating at the local, state, national, or international meet. She has assisted with all my meets ever, even after working long hours as an EMT. She has trained with me to prepare for various meets of her own, and taught me new techniques on how to better my lifts. Not only this, she, along with her husband, have officiated at my meets, ensuring that they run according to USAPL regulation. It was without hesitation that I nominate Cathy to be inducted in the Women's Hall of Fame, as she is very deserving of this award. Thank you, Cathy, for all you've done in the to make the USAPL an enjoyable sport. Thank you, Cathy. Very welcome back up. I'm going to ask both of you ladies to take the mic for a second and tell us your words of wisdom for the lifters out there, and then we'll go on to your goodies.
Don't be afraid of the weight, and get out there and do it. When I get together with all of the other ladies and the men at Masters Nationals, it's not the lifting is what brings us together. But if there was any words of wisdom, any one single pearl that I would share is, I celebrate the people that I'm with, my fellow competitors, the referees, the staff people, because my life has ended up being blessed and graced because this sport has given me the opportunity to meet them.